I realized I didn't mute myself, sorry. Yeah, so this is, by the way, I wanted to mention, because Mid had made a comment about the beat. I actually had to tweak with this beat quite a lot. When I originally got the beat back, like obviously I work with a music producer to do the beats, and how to explain this? It sounded good at first when we first finished it together, and then like afterwards I was like, you know, it feels really, really slow. Like it actually was a lot slower than this. I had to tweak it quite a bit. To increase like the tempo and stuff, but yeah, the beat was a lot weirder, I feel like, before, and I couldn't really rap over it. It wasn't how I wanted to rap, so I had to tweak the beat quite a bit. But this is one of those scenarios where yeah, I don't make the full beat. I have someone that I work with to do that, but I do have to tweak it you know, all the time when I'm making music. So yeah, for these lines, it's fucking silent now. I see you decide to shut your mouth. That's essentially kind of a play again on the lurk command. When you use the lurk command, you're quiet, essentially. But yeah, it's kind of what that is. But it's a play on that. Again, I don't hate any lurkers. You're all amazing. I just wanted to be cute. Anyway, this is for the haters who were quote unquote lurking on my downfall. That's what that is. All right, cool. But yeah, I just essentially was like, you know, you're quiet now. Oh, you're just you're lurking now because you're quiet. You're not saying anything. Because before you were all up in my DMs, ready to, you know, bring me down and shit, and now you're like quiet. So, okay. Anyway, moving forward. Oh, let me hide myself really fast. I guess it doesn't really matter, but. Ever since your efforts went south, ever since you tried taking me down. Yeah, and that's again what I just said. Ever since your efforts went south, ever since you tried taking me down. Pretty much like you tried and you failed and now you're quiet because you knew you couldn't get me. Essentially is what that is. Yeah, I thought it was cute. Anyway. Your lips are covered in brown by all that shit that you shout. I just thought it was funny. I don't know. I just thought it was funny to say, like, you're talking a lot of shit. And you need to clean yourself up is essentially what I'm saying here. Someone get this bitch a towel. I beg you, please go take a shower. Ew. I see who you. Yeah, that's what that's saying. Anyway, sorry. And it's like, most of my rap lyrics are just like funny jabs. Like it's supposed to be because it's like a diss, right? But yeah, it's just saying like, you know, you're talking a lot of shit, but you ain't cleaning that up. You know, clean up your act, essentially. Okay, so. You are in the end, trying to make me slip up over and over again. Oh my god, yeah, okay. Flashbacks. So this line is very direct, like directly, I'm blatantly saying that there are so many people that just show up in my messages and decide to be really rude. And this trying to make me slip up over and over again, that's exactly what they try to do, is like they try to make me say something that I shouldn't be saying, essentially. They try to make me say, I don't know, they're just being extremely rude, and it's like to the point where it's like, how do you not expect me to like snap back at you? You know what I mean? But yeah, and then it's like very obvious, blatant envy being shown, and it's like also like some things are just like seem like they're trying to get like personal information out of me. Like that's not cool. Anyway. Then I see you on Twitter covering up you're a fucking sinner. So that is also literally blatantly saying like, you know, people will DM me and act this way, and then when they're actually publicly talking, like on social media, they act all cute and sweet and nice. I talked about this on Post Debut as well, but that's essentially what it is. It's like they act all like they all act angelic and shit. It's like, no, you're not. See, like for me, like I know that I'm not a saint, you know, and I don't try to act like one. I'm not ever gonna act like one. You know what I mean? So it's like for me, I don't appreciate people who are so like two-toned like that. So and just again, just like I don't expect you to act the same way on publicly as you do privately, but have some respect. I don't know. Anyway. For drama like a critter. Oh my god, yeah. And then, oh god, yeah. Okay, so there's so many people that just like, they literally are on the hunt for like trying to do, for example, there are some people who are like on the hunt to do hot takes. Like they want to see a controversial topic so that way they can do their own quote unquote hot take on it. So they're like scouring like the social media for these for just like controversial topics and stuff, so that way they can post something that is equally controversial and try to get more attention. And that's like so weird. I don't know. Maybe it's more of like I don't have time to do that, so I don't get how other people have time to do that. But it's fine. I whatever. That's what you want to spend your time researching and doing. Okay. But yeah, people really be out here like on the hunt for drama, essentially. But yeah. Fake messages, oh, go figure. Yes. Okay, so the fake messages, oh, go figure. I don't know if anyone realizes this, but a lot of the messages that are like posted on Twitter or whatever, they're fake. Like people be faking DMs all the time. I'm not saying that like none of them are real. I'm not saying don't look out for potentially dangerous individuals in the community, but at the end of the day, like anyone and everyone is dangerous to you. Like, they can be. So you should just be looking out all the time. You shouldn't need one Twitter post to tell you that this person is evil. You know what I mean? You should just be always looking out for evil people. But yeah, and I think people just like to do the fake DM stuff because it gets attention, and I don't know why. They just want to thrive off of like the attention and the retweets, the likes, the comments, the getting all like emotional and enraged and stuff like that. It's like, can we just get like emotional about food? Oh man, I want some food. Sorry. Anyway, go the fuck to sleep like I'm your fucking babysitter. Okay, so I just liked, I don't know if anyone knows it, Samuel L. Jackson read this little, it's like an adult children's book. I don't know how to explain it. It's not a children's book, but essentially he did this, like, he read this book that was like, go the fuck to sleep. That's literally what the fucking book is called. And I just thought it was funny to add that in there and also just be like, oh, like you're a fucking child. Like go the fuck to sleep because like I'm your babysitter, like as if you're a little baby and I have to be the adult here and tell you to shut the fuck up. I sound so like full of hatred, but I'm not. Anyway, yeah, so that's what I was trying to say there. Essentially, it was like you need to stop. You need to be quiet, lay down, take a nappy wappy because you're obviously throwing a tantrum, and leave me alone. Anyway, that's what I'm saying there. But yeah, but again, it's just telling people that have. Oh, and I think to relate this to my experiences, I just kind of don't respond to things. Like, I feel like as of late, I feel a lot less pressure from myself to respond to things. I used to feel like very pressured. Like I would put it on myself, honestly, to like respond to people. And now I don't do that anymore. Like now I actually like, if I don't have time, I don't have time. I'm not going to respond to things and like not feel pressured by myself to respond to things. But yeah, and there are also just like some people who send me messages that feel so like baity, like I have to respond to it. If I don't respond to it, then it makes me seem like I'm an asshole. Which I know sometimes isn't that's not the intention all the time, but sometimes it feels that way. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. Fake ass bitch, do anything for a click. Switch your narrative. Okay, let me talk about fake ass bitch, do anything for a click. It goes along the same lines of like you're fake, and like these people are fake because they put up this face for social media or for like public situations. Do anything for a click, same thing. You're putting up a fraudulent personality to get views, to get clicks, or you post things that are semi-controversial or try to be controversial about things to try and get, do clickbait stuff, essentially. The switch your narrative where it fits, sorry, I know you can't really see it. That actually is kind of a reference to, well, it is definitely a reference to things that have happened in the past where essentially, like, people would how to explain this like without like seeming like I'm calling particular people out. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to spread word that this isn't a cool thing to do. I think there's just people who bend the truth. That's kind of just how it is. Generally, people bend the truth. People tell parts of the stories that aren't the whole truth. The people just tell selective hearing almost. Like, they only want to say or hear what they want, and they don't actually listen to the whole story, which is why I say, like, switch your narrative where it fits, where it's like, you'll say one thing to this person, but you'll say something else to another person. Or, like, another example, praising and fake complimenting this big VTuber while talking down to a quote-unquote little VTuber. Kind of shit like that. It's like, you're just changing yourself for the situation, which is fake, But yeah. There's also just been a couple scenarios on stream where people have come in, say something, and then literally say something else within like 10 minutes that completely, it's just pure hypocrisy. So that's interesting. I find that very interesting. But yeah, I won't go into specifics, but I just find that very interesting. Anyway, moving on.
Where it fits, you see success, you cannot resist. No.
Yes. Me praising myself for the lyrics. Yeah, you see success, you cannot resist. It's the same thing as basically saying, like, people who are envious, people who can't, like, people just can't help. Like, some people just can't help, but, like, I have to tell this person that I don't like them in some way or capacity. Like, I literally had people, like, criticize me, like, DM me to criticize me for example, doing a debut month, streaming every day for a month. People literally DM me just to criticize me for things like that. And I think it was just kind of weird for me because it was like, they were like criticizing me, but also like trying to like do this weird back and forth dance of like, oh, that's like really shitty, but like cool for you, I guess. You know what I mean? And yeah, I just think that's fucking weird. And you can't, it's like you see someone doing something that you can't do and you have to be like, fuck you, bitch. Like, I don't get that. I literally, it's like, that's what it feels like. You see something that you can't do, and because you feel like you can't do it, instead of like trying and setting yourself up to try to do that, you just attack the person who's doing it and like openly envy them. I don't know. It's weird. So that's why I mean, like, if you see success, you can't resist this urge to like, or the haters can't resist the urge to like, internet troll, keyboard warrior, you know what I mean? Anyway.
Oh, come on, bro. You always be cracking shitty jokes.
Yeah. I think it's just this outwardly persona of people who like make all these, it's like the same thing. It's like they're making all these jokes, they're acting like this way, they're not actually this way. When I call you out on what you don't know, or like tell you like, hey, this ain't cool, or I see what you're doing, you freeze. That's essentially what I'm saying here in these lines. It's like, I've called a couple people out in VTubing stuff, like about the things that have happened, and like obviously as politely as I could, and it's definitely a surprise because I think most people don't expect like me to approach them about their content or like the way that they're streaming or saying things to me. I've told people like, hey, that's not cool the way that you said this to me. I literally have this one person, this was like the beginning, I don't know if I've ever talked about this. I had this one person send me like, they thought, I don't know why, but they really thought they were like buddy with me, and they sent me like a screenshot of literally them talking shit about me behind my back, and I was like, it's cool, you can talk shit about me, it's fine. And I mean, they weren't really talking shit, they were like talking shit / like making a joke. So like, I get it, it was supposed to be like a funny haha moment, but it was like, I don't need to see y'all conversing about me in somewhat of a negative way, and then send that to me. I don't know. It was really weird. Like, I didn't hate. Obviously, it's all good. Like, it's under the butt, whatever you want to call it. Not under the bus, but it's swept under. It's all good. I'm chilling. But it was just a weird experience, and I definitely had to tell him like, hey, this ain't cool, you know. I mean, you know, it was just surprising. The amount of people that like just don't think they're gonna get called out about things, and obviously this is just general too. I think I see a lot of people in the VTubing community, just like once people find out that they're lying about something, they get called out, and they're just like, oh shit. It's like, well, that's what happens when you just lie and like don't be true to yourself, essentially, you know. Anyway.
But when I call you out on what you don't know, you freeze up like the fucking snow. Are you really trying to start some shit? Did your head get hit by 1,000?
Yes! Sorry. I constantly have people, essentially what I'm saying here, I'll keep it brief and quick and nice. I've essentially had people like try to start beef with me, I feel like, and like it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I don't let it happen because I'm not here for drama. I will literally, that's why I said I'm a fucking babysitter. I will fucking be the adult and just be like, okay, moving on. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you want to say that? Cool. This ain't cool? And politely, I'm gonna leave you alone. You can leave me alone. That's essentially like what happens. And yeah, it's just that's why I'm saying like you really try to start some shit with me, because like I promise you it's not gonna work, because for one, I've already been through all this. I've seen all the red flags. I know what not to say. I know not to slip up. I know not to let my emotions and rage get the best of me during that moment. I'm not gonna slip up. Okay? And I'm not going to continue on this. I'm not going to try to let you make fake beef with me. It's not cool. I don't care. I don't want beef. Just move on. I'm not going to feed into it. So that's pretty much like what I'm saying there. Anyway, did your head get hit by the 1,000-pound break? Is the best. Essentially, it's just me saying, are you that dumb? Like, why are you doing that? Why? Why are you doing this? It makes no sense to me. It just makes, why? And it just sounded funny. Anyway.
Break? Are you banking on your moans and models are oh so hot?
Yeah.
Are you banking on your moans and models are oh so hot?
Okay, so this line is basically about I've had let's see how to explain this. I've had some interactions with people who were getting ready to like do VTubing, and they were very rude to me like privately. And they were doing this outwardly appearance of like being this really great, beautiful, cute person, and then when it came down to it privately, they were definitely very rude. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened. And I kind of just wanted to make a stab at like, oh, so you think that like what's gonna carry you is the appearance that you have, essentially, is what I'm saying. You really think it's gonna work? You think that being fake is gonna get you where you want to go? I don't know. I don't think so. It works for some people, but it's not healthy. It's not mentally good for you, I feel like. I mean, that's my opinion though. If you want to do that, then you go ahead. But I'm just saying, like, are you really like putting everything on the fact that you might have a cute model or whatever, hot model or whatever? It's like, you need to have more than just like a really beautiful model in order for you to be like a entertainer or entertaining on stream is what I'm saying, essentially. Or sometimes maybe I'm wrong, you know, some people do have just that, but you know, anyway.
Is all of the bullets in your goddamn block? You take shit.
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Is that all the bullets that you got? Is that it's just a metaphor. Like, is that all you got in your Glock, bro? You ain't got nothing else? Because I could guarantee you I got a lot of rounds. Anyway. You take shit too seriously? Yeah, I think that's self-explanatory.
Seriously, you act so imperiously. You're talking deliciously. You're getting used mysteriously. You're lying so hideously. You're treating me so unfairly. Your popularity is a fucking conspiracy.
Okay, so to kind of boil all of these lyrics down, it's just me obviously dissing. But I wanted to say, essentially, like, this line specifically, all these lines can be summed up to this final line where it's your popularity is a fucking conspiracy. I don't think people realize that, like, essentially, a lot of people by their followers, by their views, by their likes, by their retweets. A lot of people purchase things. And numbers and ratios don't add up, and that's okay for that to happen sometimes. But I think when you do it excessively, or when you're acting like so high and mighty about your content, and acting like those numbers are natural, those numbers aren't natural. And I think it's also a mention to people who were like me and wondering, like, well, why are my numbers not doing well at all? You know what I mean? It's like, I see people, I try to do similar trends as what they're doing, and yet the when I do it, it does poorly, at least, comparatively, right? It does pretty bad. Well, the reason why is because on Twitter or on TikTok or even on Twitch, you can buy viewers. They're just bots. And people do this all the time. There are plenty of people who have partner, but they have partner because they bought the viewers and then got partner. And then you'll see that now they don't have those viewers anymore because it was all fake, And people on Twitter or TikTok, they can promote or boost their posts. So you'll see a lot of like trends, quote unquote trends, take off, or people's posts that you do similarly do better than yours, because a lot of the time, sometimes it's also luck, right? Timing and luck and who is engaging with your content. But a lot of times it's also just like the way that you promote something, or not promote something, but the way that you pay for promotion on these outlets. A lot of people buy followers so that way they look like they have like that social validation, so more people follow them because like, oh, well, 10K people are following this person, so I'm going to follow them too because like that the other 10K people have validated that this is a cool person. But then you'll look at their posts, on average they have 10 likes, you know what I mean? And it's okay. Ratio's never, it's never going to work, right? You could have, there's plenty of people who actually have real numbers, but their engagement is pretty low. It's just what happens, right? Because you have a lot of people that are just consuming so much, entertainment or so much media, or they have a bunch of different accounts, right? It exists. It's fine. But I think when you see something like that, where they have thousands and thousands and thousands, and they only get 5, 10, sometimes it's a little bit fishy. And I mean, that's on average. That's like every post. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit fishy. And it sucks because, I definitely have felt that way, where it feels like, why am I doing these things and it's not doing well, or as well comparatively to theirs? And I realize it's just because they're paying for the promotion. They're paying for these things, and I'm not exempt from that. For this album debut, I have invested money into promoting the album posts. I've absolutely done that, okay? And I'm being clear and transparent about it. That's what I have done. But I don't like the people who will shy away from actually telling people, yeah, I promoted this. And that's why I say your popularity is a fucking conspiracy. You're not telling people what you're actually doing. You're not being truthful. You're not being honest. You're not being humble about, what you're actually doing. And it makes it seem like, oh, you're so popular. It's like, no, they're just paying for that popularity. So that's kind of boiled down, that's kind of what I said in these lines. So anyway, I will continue. Let me just look at chat really fast. They actually do that. Yeah, they actually do that. They do. Yes, I see it all the time. People are very strange. I get it. I feel like once in a while is okay. If you have an important event coming up, you want to get more people to see it, you have the time, you have the money, you feel like you have a good post for it, absolutely, do it. I mean, try things out at least once. But I don't like people who act like they're all high and mighty. They're not thinking of, I don't know. And it just looks bad for smaller VTubers or smaller people, entertainers that don't have those numbers. Envy is really easy to set in when you see that, but it's you forget that part of that is they paid for it. Some of them, sure, they didn't pay, they did get lucky, they are already popular, they had a popular person retweet their thing and then they shot off. It happens, but majority of the time people are getting promoted and through paying for promotions and stuff like that, and that's okay. But again, don't act like you're doing something different than everybody else. Anyway, Continuing on, it goes to there you go. Oh wait, social media is littered with people throwing money at it for fame. Yeah. Yep. There you go. All right, here we go.
I ain't playing no games, but they call me Elden the way I get these rings.
Yeah. I like the line. I wanted to include an Elden Ring, like the ring line, because like I've heard it in rap many times, but I was like, what if we do Elden Ring? And I was like, yeah. I don't know why I said we. It's really just me. my multiple personalities, my two brain cells. But yeah, essentially, like I really wanted to put in that line, and I wanted to say, like, I wanted a game reference as well, because I thought it'd be fun. And at the time that I was writing it, I think Elden Ring was, like, just coming out, and it was, like, super big, super popular. It still is. But, like, I wanted to include it in some capacity. So that's what I did, and I like it. Anyway, and I'm just saying that I ain't playing no games. All right? Damn.
I don't need to plagiarize to get all the guys.
Yeah. Okay, so this is about... Damn, I guess I can say it, because they're so big, they're never going to see this. But I saw this one VTuber, and I'm not going to say who it is. And I'm not saying that it's bad or anything like that. I just wanted to poke fun at it, essentially. But I had seen this one VTuber who, they, like, took... I don't know how to explain this. They took a song, a very popular song, and I don't know if they did this legally, by the way, because you're supposed to get this... It's literally plagiarism. They took this popular song that was out and did their own take on it. They just replaced some of the lyrics to fit their like VTuber character or persona. But it was most of this, it was literally like the same song, essentially. And I was like, isn't that illegal? That's literally like plagiarism. I don't know. It's so weird. And, you know, like I went to university when I was on Earth. I went to a university that, you know, you would get in fucking big ass trouble, and high school, whatever you want to call it. You get big ass trouble for fucking getting plagiarizing shit. You know what I mean? Like, you get in big ass trouble. And so my thing is like, why are we just letting people plagiarize shit? I don't know. And maybe this person, this VTuber, got it cleared before doing this cover, or I don't know. They called it like an original song too, which made no sense to me. I'm like, this is not an original song. But okay. And I just thought it was weird because it's like, you spent all this time doing this quote unquote cover. It's essentially a cover of a song. I don't know if you paid for that, you know, rights to do that. Cause I don't know if y'all obviously, most of you probably don't know exactly how like music rights and copyrights work. But you need to get, you need to get okayed essentially from the producers and the songwriters that you can use this kind of stuff, like, or like sampling. You can sample songs and stuff like that. You have to get that cleared. You can't just use it because it's fucking illegal. It's plagiarism. You don't have rights to that. You know what I mean? So for like all my beats, for example, I have to make sure that I buy exclusive rights so that way I can essentially claim it. Obviously, I don't fully claim it as my own when I talk about it with y'all. I'm honest, I don't make the beats myself. I work with a producer to create the beats, but because I have exclusive rights, I'm not legally bound or obligated to tell y'all about like details about that. And I don't have to split any costs or anything like that. And I'm not trying to be rude. Like, obviously I would, but I don't want to even go through the hassle. Like, I don't make any money off of this, so, you know, I'm like, I'm not gonna go through the hassle. Cool, next line.
Stepping up to me will be your demise.
Oh, they messed up here. Okay, cool. So that's not actually the lyrics. I just realized that now. Sorry, I literally got this MV this morning because the person is very unprofessional. I didn't notice this, but they did not change the lyrics here, apparently. That's supposed to say, stepping up to me will be your demise. Anyway, what I was saying on the stepping up to me will be your demise, essentially, like, I will take you out with this diss track. That's it. No, I just mean, like, you know, I will fucking end your career, okay? I've done it before to people. I will do it again, not to people. But I'm just saying, like, let's just, I don't want to deal with this. You're not gonna continue doing this. If you try to do something to me, I will call you out. That's what I'm saying. Anyway.
Brain the size of a gnat.
I just thought it was funny. Looks like a rush. Yeah, it's a, you know, it's not cool. Yeah, it is cool, but not cool. Anyway, brain the size of a gnat. I just thought it was funny. Let's just listen to this.
Permanently on lag, streaming out of a shag.
I just thought it was funny. I just thought it was like, people, this stream, like, I don't have anything against, by the way, I don't have anything against people who are lagging when they stream. It just happens. It's part of streaming. But I just wanted to say that it's just funny when people are like, talk all this big shit and then like, spend all this on their model or spend all this on try to act like they have the best content ever. And then they're like super lagging. And lag happens. It's okay. But I just think it's funny. Anyway, I just wanted to call it out. I just thought it was funny. Anyway. Oh, also, I feel like the line, like, streaming out of a shack, is also kind of, like, making a jab at people who, again, I understand there are emergency circumstances that require this, but what I'm specifically talking about are people who clearly spend a lot of money on their models, their VTubing stuff, but then they constantly are asking for, like, donations or, oh, my toilet broke, and I literally have seen this before. My toilet broke down, and I need money. I need to go poo-poo. Like, I've seen people asking and begging for money, even though they have shown consistently that they buy all of these, like, VTubing stuff, and, so that's why I said you're streaming out of a shack, because you're just, like, you're spending all this on VTubing and you're just like expecting people to donate all this money. I don't know. I understand that emergency circumstances happen, and I'm not saying like if something happens, obviously like get help. But I think it's more important to set yourself up for success when doing VTubing. If you can't afford it, then don't do it. Essentially, until you can afford it. And I'm talking about affording it on top of affording like life necessities, essentially.
You're stinky, you're sweaty, like that part underneath the nuts.
So, I just thought it was funny. I just think you're stinky, you're sweaty is like a child, like, I'm talking to them in their language, right? Because they're a bunch of fucking children. I'm gonna say, you're stinky, you're sweaty, you got cooties. That's essentially what I'm saying. That's what that line was inspired by. And then I had to say the nutsack because I wanted to make a D-snatch joke. Which is explained in the next lines.
Hold up, this is an education.
Oh, and then we have an ongoing joke that this is an educational stream. It is absolutely not an educational stream. Okay, thank you.
Let me try to go 5 seconds without saying this. I can be a top or a bottom like the
I don't know what else to say. This part is pretty much just me going with the flow. I'm just enjoying the beat. But yeah, I'm just saying that. Yeah. Okay.
When you see the homie hit him with a dime, my ass stick like the earth's fucking mantle.
Oh yeah, I wanted to have certain things that were like somewhat educational related, like talking about the earth's mantle. Ashford Castle is actually the most luxurious, expensive castle. And saying bottom feeder, it's funny. I just thought it was funny, and also that exists in the ecosystem. Stuff like that. I just wanted to be funny, and then the ice caps too, because yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's what that was like me pretending to be an educational stream. Anyway.
We live in luxury gold Ashford Castle. You are the working bee, I am the queen. You a bottom feeder, I am the cheetah. You tryna make the money, but I got all the fucking honey. Ay. Fake ass bitch, do anything for a click. Switch your narrative where it fits. You see success, you cannot resist. No. Come on, bro. You always be cracking shitty jokes. But when I call you out on what you don't know, you freeze up like the fucking snow. I can't take it anymore.
Yeah, this part is like just me at my limit, essentially.
Ears go sore to like a shikasho.
If you need to know what like shikasho in Bakeiro means, essentially shikasho is like you're acting like a son of a gun, son of a gun, and then Bakeiro is just idiot. Essentially, it's just like a more rude way to say idiot, essentially. But yeah. Oh yeah, I think it's funny to say like, oh, thanks for putting on a show. Like you done made like some you done diddly doing this silly stuff, and now And you just hit all-time low, and now I'm gonna, you know, call you out, essentially. Something like that. That's kind of like along the lines of what I was saying.
What you sow only care.
Oh yeah, you reap what you sow. Like, I'm gonna come at you if you're gonna come at me. Anyway, you only care about the dough also is the next line, which is like essentially saying like, you only care about money. Ah! That's pretty self-explanatory, right? Like, stop being so greedy. Anyway.
Care about the dough, but you do the cocoa, but you can't get home.
Oh yeah, this is just me being fun. I was just having fun on this part. But you did the cocoa because you're just acting like a crackhead. Anyway, even though I am the crackhead, but you know. Yeah, just like you're just missing all your shots.
Shit, judo.
And then you're flipping shit. You're flipping out. You're throwing a tantrum.
Why you're so low, can't see the light go.
Sorry. Here's why you're solo, can't seem to let go. I'm just saying, you don't have any friends. You don't have any real friends, I should say. They don't have any real friends. If you're acting like that, you don't got real friends. Come on. You're being a hoe. You're being rude. You're being rude. How could you have friends like that? Or your friends are just the same way.
You're so low, can't see the light go.
Oh yeah, and then holding a grudge.
The shit that comes out your mouth hard to swallow.
And I just thought that was funny. Is the shit that comes out your mouth hard to swallow? Like, you can't. Okay. Essentially, that's the feeling behind that. Do you understand what I'm saying by my hmms? Okay. I hope you do.
I ain't playing no games, but they call me Eldon the way I get these rings. I don't need to plagiarize to get on the guys. All your fake ass cries made me wanna fucking die.
Beautiful. So that is a whole song, which is pretty epic. Woo! I also wanted to mention, I don't know if anyone noticed this, but if you listen to post debut and then you listen to lurk, you will notice something. But I don't know if anyone will notice. If anyone notices, let me know. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to give it away, but I think it'd be interesting to see who figures it out. But there is something similar in both of those songs. And yeah. If you find out, let me know because I'm curious to see who will be the first one.